let's not sugarcoat words. Let's not beat about the bush. At the moment, at present, if you're a nurse who is based in Africa, Asia, or the Caribbean, and you want to migrate to the UK on visa sponsorship, you want to actually get a job before you come, you want to actually get visa sponsorship before you come, at this present time, you only have about 1% chance of achieving that dream or that goal of yours. It's sad, but the truth is hard that must be said. And this is a phrase from the book, The Girls Are Not to Blame. Things are tough, guys. Things are tough. Let me explain. Stop that. So about 6 years ago, I came to the UK November 2018. So what happened in my time and what happened years after, a couple of years, what kept happening was that you, as a nurse who was trained outside the UK and you want to move to the UK was desperate, right? You'll be walking across the street somewhere and then you see refer a nurse for £200. In fact, sometimes when I'm even logging in at work or I'm clocking in at work, right, it will come on the screen, refer a friend, a nurse for £200. Everybody was advertising, bring me somebody, bring me a nurse and I'll give you money, bring me a nurse. They were desperate. So at the time, what were they doing? They were looking for foreign trained nurses and you would have to just set the IELTS and the CBT back home. There was even a time that you didn't even need to pass IELTS before you come. You could only pass CBT, you come here, it was called evidence 2. And I actually have friends that went through that process. You come here, you even set the IELTS here and you set the OSCE here, but you have a job even before then. They'll give you a job, they'll give you a contract, pending you passing the OSCE. Can you imagine? And the IELTS. So that was what was happening. They were so desperate. You pass your CBT, you pass your IELTS, and then you get in contact with an agency, they would arrange or they'll hook you up with an employer. You do a couple of interviews, and then if you impress them, they'll give you your contract, you sign, blah, blah, blah. They'll pay for your flights. They'll give you accommodation when you come for a couple of weeks. They'll give you food while you're here. Some even gave you pocket money for a period, and then you pay them back. They'll pay for your OSCE training, and so on and so forth. For me, I even got a refund on my IELTS. They asked me to bring my IELTS receipts, the payment receipts, and they refunded it back to me. They converted from the Ghana cedi to the pound at the time, and they gave it to me. Even when I was going for OSCE training in Bangor, somewhere in Northern Ireland here, and I take the train, if I kept the receipts of the train, I'll be refunded. Life was good because they were desperate. Now, what is happening here? So many things have happened. And in my comment section, I see people ask questions like, I hear nurses are now banned from Nigeria to come into the UK. I hear it's just tough. What is really happening? And like I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat words. You have 1% chance of being able to come to the UK in 2025 in the same pathway. There are a few things that you can do to increase your chances, but even with that, it's tough. I have heard and I have seen UK trained nurses complain that they have finished school and they have not gotten jobs yet. UK trained locals. How much more you and I that were not trained here that have a thick African accent? How much more you and I? Things are tough. But if you want to increase your chance, first of all, I'm going to tell you what to do to increase your chances. And then I'll also give you a word of advice. Which one do you want first? Let me start with the word of advice. The word of advice is that do not put all your eggs in one basket. There are so many other countries that are where the UK was 6 years ago. Country like Canada, country like Australia, country like New Zealand. There are some of these countries that are still desperate. They are currently in the same position that UK was about 6 years ago. And they need nurses and they do you know, I know a lot of people want to make the UK their first choice because the process is simpler and all of that, but do not put all your eggs in one basket at this point because it's tough. Now, if you want to increase your chances a bit, you have to do what we call self-sponsorship. And this is not the video where I'm going to explain the self-sponsorship, but let me just briefly mention some of the things that have caused this. So one is the red list issues. Okay, so I have done several videos about this whole red list thing where the WHO has put some countries on what we call the red list, and they are saying that these countries, the UK should not use agencies to directly recruit from these countries because these countries are short themselves of nurses and the UK should not target these countries to fill their spaces and all of that. We have the red list, we have the amber list. Okay, when the red list came, people were still coming, but you could not use an agency to facilitate the process. You'd have to apply directly. People were applying directly, lots of people were still coming. Now, people are saying because of ethical reasons for them, they do not want to recruit from certain countries because those countries are short themselves. Even when the people applied directly, it was was sad, but it was happening. Now, after the red list, now came funding issues in the UK. The UK is now broke, guys. Don't let anyone deceive you. The UK is now broke. There are thousands of millionaires that have relocated from the UK to Dubai because now the UK is broke. Lots of entrepreneurs and businessmen have relocated from the UK to Dubai and other countries because the UK is broke. The UK is so broke that they were actually laying off workers in NHS. They're actually laying people off. Obviously not nurses, but you know, the administrative workers were laying people off work. They are so broke they cannot. So the NHS, which is government, cannot fund you as an international applicant to come to the UK. They cannot pay your flight anymore. They cannot pay your COS anymore. They cannot pay your immigration skills charge. They cannot train you for OSCE. These trusts were paying loads of money to recruit people internationally, or they were investing in that, okay? Now they can't afford it. They are not getting the funds. So much so that even people that are in the UK that are doing agency, these days they're not even getting agency shifts, especially in England. Even me being in Northern Ireland, I seen lots of nurses fly from England to come and pick shifts here because the trust in England have stopped getting, you hardly get an agency shift. They are broke because they were spending way too much on agency, because obviously agency nurses get paid more. They are so broke that trained nurses here in the UK are struggling to get jobs. Now, the government is also saying that they don't want to heavily rely on foreign healthcare professionals. They don't want to. They want to train their own people. So that is also a contributing factor. So the red list issues and ethical recruitment issues, and then the UK being broke and the government saying that, in fact, they don't even want to rely on foreign. They want to train their own people. So they're investing more in their education to make it attractive for their own people to go into nursing. All of these are what has contributed to the current situation that we have. But like I said, if you still want the UK, and if you still want to come to the UK, you don't want to give up, probably because you started the process already, I'm not going to discourage you, because actually I went somewhere in England. I went to Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and I did meet people that are Nigerians, to be specific, and other Africans that have actually left Nigeria a couple of weeks ago and have come here and have been successful. People are still getting recruited, not at the same scale that was years ago, but people are still getting jobs. People are still passing their OSCE. People are still getting jobs, but like I said, not at the same scale. If you want to increase your chances a bit, I would say go through the self-sponsorship route. I am not saying that is a guarantee, because I have had people in my DM say they have gone through the self-sponsorship route and are still searching, desperately searching for jobs. But I have said in the last couple of weeks, all the people that have been successful came through the self-sponsorship route. By self-sponsorship, I mean do the process yourself. Get a visit visa, fly to the UK, sit for the OSCE yourself. And you cannot do this on your own. You need a team to help you. That is why I come in to recommend EMGS, Express Med Global Service. So Express Med Global Service is your one-stop shop for self-sponsorship. If you want consultation, let's say you're not sure which pathway will be good for you right now with all what is going on in the UK, and you want to know if Australia will be easier, Canada will be easier, US will be easier, you can book a consultation with them. They would help you. They are foreign nurses that have gone through all this relocation process in the UK and in different parts of the world. They'll help you make it the best choice with the current situation. Now, if you're struggling with IELTS, that is actually their hallmark, or let me say what people know them for. They'll help you, train you remotely for IELTS, and you will pass the IELTS with ease. If you want CBT, they're going to help you. If you want to come to the UK and do the OSCE yourself and now start searching for jobs, which will increase your chances of getting a job in the UK, because now you've reduced the cost for the NHS trust, or if you reduce the cost for the hospital or the care home, you have to go through EMGS. Okay, they now actually have a physical OSCE training or practical assessment center in Liverpool. And when I went there, I met so many nurses, some of them that were shy to come on the channel, some of them that actually granted me the opportunity. I'll leave the clip here. So guys, I'm still in Liverpool and I have here the beautiful Ada and then the gorgeous
Jessica.
Okay, so do I say you are an alumni of EMGS or you are still in
Alumni.
Okay, and then yourself?
I'm a product. I'm waiting for my result.
Okay. So first of all, congratulations in advance.
Thank you.
Okay, so how long have you been in the UK?
3 weeks now.
You've been in the UK for 3 weeks?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, and yourself?
I think a week.
A week?
Yeah.
Nice. And you're originally from?
Nigeria.
Yourself?
Nigeria.
Okay. Well, so what has your experience been with EMGS? Why did you choose them over other OSCE training centers?
Okay, when I went to start my OSCE preparation, I had reached out to some friends and they gave me some recommendations, but I wasn't comfortable yet. But this friend of mine then said, okay, you should chat this number, and it was the EMGS, and
the flyer,
yeah.
Okay.
So I chatted them and they told me the cost. I can't can't remember what, but I did online class,
Okay.
which was for I think 2 weeks.
Whilst you were back in Nigeria.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
rather.
Whilst
Yeah.
you were back in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for that 6 weeks, I wasn't, because of work, I wasn't like really following up. And they said the platform was gonna be open for like extra 2 weeks in case you don't. Not extra 2 weeks. Is that? I can't really remember because it's been long. I did that. So, but it's going to be open for some time before they eventually like take you out of the group. But you still have the opportunity to pay, but it's lesser if you want to come back to the class. So I'm on the third EMGS group, and the class was very detailed. Like they give you picture representation of what they're talking about.
You mean the online class?
Yeah, the online class. They give you picture representation of what they're talking about. Then they also send videos so you can have an idea of what they are talking about. So you have an idea of what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
So after that, then when I finally got my visa to like come for the exam, I decided to do like a 1 week physical class in the UK, which has been amazing as well.
Yeah. Yourself, why EMGS over others?
Okay, I knew them since 2022 when I wrote my IELTS.
Okay.
Yes, that was when I knew about EMGS. It was recommended by a friend. So when I was preparing for my OSCE, they were the right people to join because from the IELTS class, it has always been explanatory and all.
So you use them for your IELTS, to pass your IELTS?
Yes.
Wow. And then
I passed in one sitting too for the IELTS.
Oh, nice. All thanks to EMGS.
Yes.
So you cannot write your UK story without EMGS?
No, I can't.
And these are students that have passed their OSCE. Some of them are still in the process of passing their OSCE, and they did the self-sponsorship route, and some of them are now in jobs already. And some of them, they have not even been here for long. I met some that have been here only weeks, or some that have been here for just a month or two, and you already have passed their OSCE thanks to EMGS, and they've gotten their jobs. Okay, so if you want to increase your chances, go through EMGS for your self-sponsorship program. When you are done, you need them to help you with your CV, interview coaching. They will help you with all of that. Okay, to let you know how serious this is, between April 2024 and March 2025, there's been nearly a 30% drop in international nurse registrations on the NMC. People have stopped actually coming to the UK. Yes. When I went to the EMGS, okay, I know there are loads of other organizations that do what they do, but when I went to the EMGS, I realized they're very different because their tutors are people that have been through the same process. Their tutors are not locals. They are people that have actually taken the OSCE themselves, and they understand us. Okay, they understand our situation. And if you're frustrated because, let's say, you want to do the self-sponsorship, but you don't even know where you stay when you come here, the EMGS people will provide accommodation for you. And if you, let's say, you don't want to stay in the UK for long, you just want to come here and write the OSCE and go, you can also go to their EMGS test center in Nigeria. I'll leave all the details on the screen and in the description, okay, so you can prepare for it, come here, pass it, you pay, you pass, and then you start applying for jobs. Because what happens is that when you go through the self-sponsorship route, you get a license just like me. The only difference between you and myself is the fact that you don't have UK job experience. Now that is where my number one tip comes in. Do you stop focusing on track jobs? I said the UK is broke. Did you not hear me? I said they are broke. Stop focusing on track jobs. Stop focusing on the NHS trust. Focus on the private sectors. I know somebody who came recently to work for a private hospital in Northern Ireland. Yes. So search for private facilities, search for nursing homes. These are privately owned and they are not directly affected by the economic crisis in the UK. You understand? They are taking money from, their residents or their service users, unlike the NHS that is free in a way, right? So they have a bit of money. They have a bit more cash than the government. So they can actually still sponsor you if you prove your worth. You understand what I mean? And I would say that as a Christian, I would always recommend that you back whatever process that you are going through or you're undergoing with prayers, okay? And still you will be fortunate. But like I said in the beginning, do not put all your eggs in one basket. Try other avenues, okay? Try other avenues. There's the US. At least with the US, you know for sure that the NCLEX does not have an expiry date. But with the UK, it does have an expiry. 2 years, they say. So you're a bit right. So if you've written your CBT, it's already a year. You're still looking to get a job from Nigeria, from Ojuelegba, whilst you are there, because you think that's what happened to Nanel, so you also get it. Times have changed, things have changed. Get money, get a visit visa, do the self-sponsorship route. And I'll leave all the videos that I've done about the self-sponsorship route in the description. Get there and call EMGS. Don't waste your time. Don't make any costly mistakes. Follow who know road to show you. I rest my case. All the best, guys. If you went through the self-sponsorship route recently and you want to share your experience, please drop it in the comment section. I'll reach out to you. I really want people to know exactly the reality on the ground. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.